Hey guys, how are you doing? It's a beautiful day today. I'm here with a very long-awaited message. Like guys, this culture shock is something that I've done throughout all my vlog time, and I love doing it. Every time I travel to a new country, every time I check out a different spot, I always want to give my show things that I'm super surprised to see, things that are different in that community, things that are different in that style. I always want to share with you guys so you guys can have a little bit of a feel of what's really happening on the ground and the real touch of what I'm really experiencing right now. Like for now, I'm going to be comparing Kigali and Nairobi and Kampala. Like literally these are countries that I've been to I've visited like so often. And right now that I'm in Kigali for the first time as a creator, like guys, I already told you I've been in this country before. I'm not going to pretend that it's something that is shocking that I haven't seen, but I'm going to give you just the comparison and the shocks that in Kigali that are found in Kigali compared to what we have in Kampala, we have in Nairobi and all these places that I've visited, right? So the first shock is how clean the city is, guys. Like I know a lot of you already agree that that Kigali is super clean. Like it's one of the cleanest city that you ever met. Look at how beautiful these roads are, man. Super clean, like super clean. The government puts a lot of money, and private companies are also doing a lot of work to make sure that their streets are clean, like really clean. Comparing them to this the Kampala streets, my friend, this is extremely different. This is extremely different. I just love how clean this city is, how they put a lot of effort to make sure that everything is super clean, everything is super nice, everything is completely very organized. Like it's breathtaking, right? Now, comparing that to Nairobi, I think Nairobi they also do a lot of cleaning. They have a lot of clean streets as well and so on, but in comparison to the Kigali, I think Kigali they take an extra mile. Like this city is extremely clean. Coming back to Kampala, my friend, our street needs to do a lot of it. There is a lot of things that needs to be done in our streets. So I'm not going to lie about that. That's the truth. That's what it is, and that's right. So I think that's it. The second shock is how people respect the road, like how people use the road with a lot of respect, like starting from the drivers, from people who are just, pedestrians, everybody who is using the road. Here, guys respect the road. Like, it's insane, guys. It's insane that they actually have to stop, for people to cross. As long as there is a zebra crossing in Kigali, people are sure that, just cross. Like the cars will literally stop. However expensive the car will be, even if it's a government car or whichever car will be, they will stop for you. This is extremely, it shocked me a little because in my country, in Uganda, you have to be very careful when you're crossing the road, no matter where you're crossing, from which point you're crossing. It's extremely different. So for Kigali, you guys shocked me. That was something. That was something. Now for Nairobi, I know there's a little bit of respect for the road, but in comparison to Kigali, I think you still need to do a lot of work right there. And I hope this time around you guys are not going to come for me because I'm just trying to give my experience, and this is my truth, this is my reality, and I hope you guys don't come for me. Don't come for me, please. Next is how nice are people. Like in Kigali, almost everybody is nice. Like people are really nice, people are saying hi, people are smiling, people are very humble, people are very calm. It's a little bit more of a Ugandan thing as well. Like in Uganda, there is also a lot of people that are really calm. Actually, most of the people in Uganda are very calm. They're super friendly, like they're always smiling. And I'm happy to see this in Kigali. Like almost everybody is being helpful. They're saying hi, they're saying thank you when you do something nice to them. It's beautiful. Now, comparing that to what is in Kigali, to what is in Nairobi, my friend. Like I told you in my earlier shock when I was in Nairobi, it's completely different. It's completely different. People are kind of more aggressive. People are more of pushing on and very fast. They don't have a lot of time to notice these small things that acts of kindness. It's a little bit way too different. I don't know if I should use the word nice, but people are not really giving attention to being really nice. I'm trying to find the best way to really bring this without contradicting myself or trying to be too much, because you guys, I have a lot of love from Nairobi, and I want to keep you around. I just want to give you my truth because I think you need to know. Next is I think slow. I'm shocked of how people here are kind of really slow. Like things are super slow. For example, you have to explain a lot. You need to really explain. If you want something, you need to really, really explain. Um, I don't know if it's a problem of the language, like most of the people don't really understand English as such, but I'm really having, every time I'm here, I'm having a problem of explaining everything, even things that you think, everyone should really understand, or maybe like telling somebody that I'll be leaving, you will have to take me at the airport at this time, I'm leaving at this time. People want details, like people here want details, man. Like they want to understand what are you saying, why, and all that. It's a little bit hectic. Like for me, who is coming from a space where we don't, I don't like explaining too much. I don't like it. In Uganda, there is a lot of people also that really need explanation, but I know there is also a lot of people there that are really super fast. You tell them something, they'll quickly figure it out and so on. Now, this in Nairobi, it's a little bit way different because also people they are super fast. Like you just say a little bit of something and they have already got their own interpretation and are giving you their views and so on. Now, I may not really conclude so much on this shock because I know for sure it may be a language kind of an issue, and people may not be really understanding because people here don't speak a lot of English, even now English being an official language of Kigali, people still struggle a lot to speak the language, to understand, especially when you are fast or you are not used to your kind of accent or something or something or something. Now, as you guys understand, like Africans, we have different accent, right? And there is a lot of us that are trying to twist their accent. There are also a lot of that, a lot of other people that have it with their natural language, So it's a little bit different. So I'm not really going to be stuck on that because maybe, and only maybe, it's an issue of the language. Because yeah, I think they're super nice and super intelligent people. Like we all agree that Kigali has got very intelligent people. It's just I don't know. I think it's an issue of the language. So if you're Rwandese and you're watching right now, let us know in the comment section. What do you think the problem is? Like, why do we need to explain everything? Like, super explain every part of details of everything we need. So I guess it's a language thing, but in case it's different, let me know in the comment section, right? And then I'm shocked about um, another shock is how most of the houses in Kigali are really short. Like they don't build these flats and scrapers and all these things. They don't have a lot of those. Like compared to Nairobi, I think Nairobi is still a lot of steps ahead. Like it's super fancy and luxurious and so on. Here, it's a little bit of green. The city is kind of more green. A big part of the city is really green. Like they try to plant. Even the trees, some of the trees are super short and so on. But they try to put them there. There's a lot of palm trees that around the city. Literally, that's. But when we come to the houses, I think with the high houses and all these beautiful scrapers and all these, I think Kigali still lags a little bit behind compared to Nairobi. Like Nairobi, they have a lot of beautiful buildings, very beautiful and huge and all this. And when you take that to the side of Kampala, Kampala is still struggling a lot. Kampala is still struggling a lot. Like the buildings there is, it's still kind of a mess. Like there is one good building in 10 very bad, ugly buildings there in Kampala. Now Kigali, there is a little bit of beautiful buildings. They are not so huge. They are not so luxurious, but at least they are kind of more planned and so on. That brings me to the next shock of how planned they plan their city. Their city is kind of well planned. Like there is street signs everywhere. There is always posters that tell you which street you are on, and they're telling you which distance you need to that you have to take to the next location you are going to, and so on. Their lights are working super well, and so on. So that's a very good credit for them. Like they plan their city super well. Now, comparing that to Kigali, to Nairobi, my friend, Nairobi is super ahead. Like for them, they plan their city a little bit more, much better. Like that city is extremely well planned, well planned. I'm loving. I love Nairobi. That's for sure. You guys should know that already. It's super planned, well planned. The rich have a very more well planned and developed kind of area. Even where those who are still hustling, the spaces are not really that bad, but I believe Nairobi is kind of more planned. Now, when we go back to Kampala, Kampala is It's a hassle there. I don't think they really planned enough. They still have a lot of work to do with planning. We all agree. I know for the Ugandans who are watching right now, you agree with me when I say there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. The planning is off board, like super off. Buildings are built in the middle of the road in Kampala and so on, so it's not really planned. But Kigali, they have a proper plan, and Nairobi continues to lead the way. Going back to their food, I think we all agree that Kigali, they have a lot of for food. Like they love food. These people here love food. It's a beautiful thing. Like culture without food, a country without food, it's no country. Like they have a lot of good milk. That is something that they should have a credit for. Like comparing our milk in Kampala and in Nairobi to the Rwanda milk, to the Rwandese milk, to the Rwanda milk is in, is incomparable. Like you can't do that. Here the milk is really good. They have good food. Maybe they don't have a lot of it. They don't have a lot of different types of food, but they have a what they have is super healthy, super clean, super healthy. Like I loved every taste I had. You guys have seen a lot of food that I've been eating. I ate a lot of Irish. I ate a lot of rice. I've ate a lot of meat, chicken, peas, almost everything that we have in Africa and so on. Now, comparing Rwandese food and Ugandan and Nairobi food is Uganda, I think we have more food. Like we have a lot more food, a lot more food. Like we have a lot of everything that I found in this country in abundance. The only challenge is maybe we don't give our food a lot of time when it comes to preparing it. And I saw that Rwandese, they always give a lot of time to their food. They prepare it with a lot of love and respect and so on. As maybe this is a kind of an not really accurate, but I feel way back Kampala, we don't really give our food a lot of that it deserves. Like, but we have a lot of food. We have a plenty of food. We have almost everything, and that's something I'm really happy for. Now, when we talk about the food in Nairobi, hey, my friend, food in Nairobi is. I've been in Nairobi for a couple of years now, and I still struggle, and I still struggle to find the very best meal. I still struggle to have a favorite meal in Nairobi. I think my favorite meal in Nairobi is ugali and sukuma, like these greens. Maybe mboga, maybe kenyeji. I love kenyeji and ugali. It's literally things that I love. I'm not vegetarian, but I'm not a person who likes a lot of chicken. I don't like a lot of meat, so I prefer a lot of grains and so on. So I always find I find it a little bit difficult that I'm not able to have a lot of this food. Sometimes there is a lot of foods, but I think in Nairobi everything is chop 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 chop. Even food is cooked chop 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 chop. So honestly, I don't feel like they give it enough time to prepare the food. So that's why I'm saying there's still a lot to be done when it comes to Nairobi food. For the food in Rwanda, I believe they prepare so well the little they have. That's something I should give them a credit for. Now, we talk about the security part of it. I feel like Kigali is super safe. Like there is safety everywhere. You can literally have your phone and vlog around the city without any problem. I feel this is something that is really nice. Like Kigali is super safe. You can vlog, you can move without worrying that someone will snatch your phone from you or something, or someone will attack you for vlogging and so on. It's super safe. Like Kigali is super safe, and I want to give them credit for that. And another thing, you will not find a lot of police everywhere with all these guns and so on. It's kind of different. Now, when you compare that to my country, we both understand that to still be positive, like any other local city, Uganda still struggles with a lot of snatchers. People can snatch your phone if you're not very careful. Especially when you're in the city, you have to be very careful when you're vlogging. You have to have someone that always helps you watch out that your phone don't get snatched and so on. So it's literally something that we still have as a problem in Kampala, and then in Nairobi. In Nairobi, it doubles. Nairobi doubles. You have to be extremely careful with your phone. You have to be extremely careful with your phone, my friend. Like you actually don't have one person watching for you when you're vlogging. You need to have at least two people watching for you, because there is a lot of magic. There is a clip I saw of a traffic officer his phone being snatched. I don't know if it was a radio call or something, but That's how risky it can get when you have, these snatchers and everything. So for reasons of security and being safe with your properties and all that, I believe Rwanda keeps the spot really high, and for Nairobi keeps really low. Like there's still so much to do to work out these issues of people snatching phones and so on. And for Kampala, still we still have that issue to work out ways to help people keep their properties a little bit safe, especially when they are in the city, in the middle of the city. There are parts of the city that are super also, security healthy, that you don't expect your phone to be snatched and so on. But at least for Kigali, almost everywhere here, you don't need to worry about your phone or anything. That's just what it is. Yeah, that's just what it is. Now, the last shock is how their roads are kind of narrow. Like all the roads in Kigali are super narrow. Like you can't even, for people who are trying to overtake or something, it is always a problem. The roads are kind of silly, are narrow, and they are clean, they are nice, but they're super narrow. I didn't like that part of being so narrow. I don't understand why they have to build such narrow road, but I also understand because in Kigali everyone is driving 60. I think the fastest is always 80, and only in very small parts of the country. Most of the parts in the city or even around the country, they're supposed to drive below 60. That's a shock for me. I'm a driver. I love driving fast. Like I'm a racer, guys. I love going really fast. So it was a little bit of a shock for me, and also very annoying. And in some ways, that we had to go. We were driving a very to our grandmother in a little bit a far distance from the city, and we had to go very slow, and the journey is very long. It was just a little bit of something that is annoying, and I understand it's done for safety reasons, that people are more safe. People are, it's done in a good spirit, but it's just something that I'm not used to, and we need to appreciate Rwanda the way it is. Comparing that to Kampala, we rarely even have speed limits kind of posts. We have them, not in everywhere, and people rarely follow them. We can kind of snitch and drive a little bit faster. We have people driving on pavements. Here we don't have anybody. I've never seen anyone driving on pavement. Even government cars, they're super fast and so on. I think that coming to Kigali was kind of a shock. Now, Nairobi, they also have speed limits and all these things, but I've also seen a lot of people riding really fast and so on. So it's kind of thing. Now, another shock that I actually had forgotten is how clean their border is. Like when you look at borders in Kigali, they're super clean. It's one person per time. You have your helmet on. They ride you at the speed that you actually recommend. You can tell them to slow down and so on. My friend, what happens in Kampala, we all know. I think Kampala is the hub of border borders. Like we have thousands and thousands of border borders. We have a lot of these border borders, and they can be crazy. They are super fast. They can have almost 3 to 4 people like going on the border at the same time, and yeah, the safety measure is not really followed. And guys, don't come for me like those guys who are coming from Uganda. We understand the truth. I'm not here to embarrass my country. I love Uganda. I love Uganda. That's my country. I love Kigali. Kigali is my country as well. That's where my mom comes from. I love Nairobi. Nairobi is my country. As well, I love East Africa. Like I love every part of the world. It's a beautiful space to be. I couldn't have desired to be in Mars. I love being on Mars, on Earth. But let's speak out the truth. Now, Nairobi with borders, I think comparing them to Uganda, it's kind of borders are kind of less. Like we don't have a lot of borders in Kigali. In Kigali, we don't have a lot of borders. They don't have a lot of them comparing to what we have in Kampala. Like in Kampala, we double, triple, or whatever number we can multiply it with. We have a lot of them. You guys know. If you have been to Uganda, or if you're watching from Uganda, you clearly know what I'm talking about. Like there is a lot of borders. We have a lot of borders right there. Now in Nairobi, we don't have a lot of them. In Nairobi, we don't have a lot of borders. There is a lot of borders in Nairobi as well. A lot of them, but I think they are more safer. Not actually safe, but the borders in Nairobi, they're also kind of tricky. They are fast. They don't take safety really so importantly. And that's why a lot of people are choosing to go for Uber and so on. My last, and guys, this is the last one. How like their roads, how they have cameras everywhere, like cameras everywhere to govern. They have cameras everywhere to govern their roads. Like, for example, if you drive really fast, this camera will automatically take a photo of you, and their cars are kind of connected to their phones, and it will send you a message of how much you have been fined, and you have to pay that in a very short period of time, as a mean of enforcing road use and discipline and so on, especially when you're driving a little bit off the city. They know that people will want to drive a little bit fast, so what they do, they have these hidden cameras everywhere on the sides of the road. You just see just a flashlight. It's not like what we have in Kampala. In Kampala we have cameras as well, but they don't do that. All they do is maybe protection for crimes and so on. Not even protection, just in case they are needed and so on. Cameras here, they flash people off, they give tickets, they automatically generate a ticket for you according to the speed you're driving, or a road violation you're causing and so on. So it's literally crazy how they have all these cameras. Like, after 1 kilometer there is a camera. I know that for sure. Like, I actually calculated of every journey that we took out of the city, almost half a kilometer there is a camera. Every after short distance there is a camera. So you need to really be careful. That's why you find a lot of Rwandese, like, they're super disciplined on the road, very disciplined, very disciplined. So literally that's everything that I had to share for today. There's a lot of things that have shocked me about this country. I'll continue to speak about them in part 2. See you around. Thank you so much for watching. It was nice having you. Let me know in the comment section what you think of the shocks that I got. Tell me if I've been accurate. Like, I believe I've been real accurate because I observed everything very keenly and so on. There is a part 2 that will be coming in the future on. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, click the like button. Don't forget to leave a comment because people need to know what you think. Thank you so much.